Leesy, thanks for joining us. 1-0 win over Shrewsbury today. An excellent start to the season. Just give us your thoughts on the game, first of all.
It wasn't an easy game by any means, and fair play to them. They made it very difficult, and they definitely went for it in the last 10 minutes. But we've not conceded. We've won another game, like you said, and it's been a good start. There's obviously things that we can brush up on and improve. But yeah, it's building a nice momentum. But we know that we've got a really, really big game now next week.
Just spoke to Michael Duff. He's talked about changing the mentality of this club. And obviously you've been here. We've had a tough last couple of seasons, no hiding from that. But this season, we are now the team there to be shot at. We're getting 75% of the ball regularly here when we play Stevenage and Shrewsbury. How difficult is it, as someone that experienced both sides of this, and you've experienced a lot in football, to make that switch and to do quite a different set of things that Michael's asking you to do? It doesn't just come straight forward, does it?
Yeah, and they're difficult games. Man City make it look easy every week because teams go to Etihad and just sit there, and they somehow make it look easy. But there's not many teams where if you go and you're on the edge of the box, it's really hard to get through. I don't think people understand there's such a fine line of taking that extra touch, creeping forward with the ball, and suddenly the pitch closes up. And they're setting traps, and they want the ball to go to certain areas. And as soon as it does, they spring onto it, and they're in positions to counter-attack. And it's such a fine line of trying to edge forward, be positive, commit bodies forward, but equally not leaving yourself exposed. And we didn't quite get that right at times. But they did have some chances early on, but when you look at the whole game, we had a lot of chances there to make it a bigger victory.
Definitely. Callum Marshall got his first Sky Bet League One goal today. Someone I'm sure you're facing quite a bit in training at the moment, and you'll get a flavour of what he's like to play against. Just tell us about Callum as a player from a defender's point of view. What's he like to play against?
Yeah, very lively, good movement, and never turns down the opportunity to take a shot. And you've seen he's been very efficient there with his finishing in the games that he's played. So yes, we had good competition, and we've got a lot of options up there. And I think it's really important, with these 5 subs, that your starting centre forwards just kind of run themselves into the ground. And it's not often that I'll play against a centre forward for 90 minutes. That it gets 60 minutes and a fresh one's coming on. So it's important that we have those same options.
You've played a lot of games now, Tom, in your career, obviously, and you've been asked to do many different things in your career, I'm sure. But just talk to us about the job that Michael asked you guys to do, particularly in the wide centre-half positions, because there is obviously the defensive responsibility never goes away, but you guys are kind of asked to start a lot of attacks now. It is a different way of playing than we've perhaps had over.
Well, I think that's maybe because the way that the opposition was set up today. They allowed me and Brodie to have the ball, and if me and Brodie are free, then it means that they're +2 everywhere else. So you look up and there's not a lot of options. And I think that's what people don't understand, like we're free for a reason because everywhere else they've got +2. So sometimes you have to be patient, and it can be a square pass, it can be a lending pass, it can be a pass and you give it back. You're trying to draw people out and you're trying to make it an equal game. It's not easy to do. But yeah, the manager, he asked us to do all the not so glamorous side of things first, because they're what win your games and they're what builds your platform to have a chance in a game. So we're always working on the uglier side of the game, the defensive stuff, and he's very good in that. He's very thorough in that. But equally, when we do get the ball, to be relaxed and try and start stuff off.
We're talking about how difficult a challenge this is, and wanting to improve. But we're sat here, 4 wins out of 4, 3 clean sheets, Tom. And we've got a lot to be happy about as well.
Yeah, and I don't think we've come in and celebrated a victory yet, which is strange. But I think it's just the standards that we set ourselves. We're in this league for a reason, but we want to show that we deserve, and we want to get to the point where we can get out of this league. So yeah, we don't take anything for granted, and we're not getting carried away. But yeah, it's just high standards, and it's about the performance really. And Stevenage game we won, and it felt like a loss if I'm being honest, because we conceded, but we're we're happy today to get another clean sheet. We probably owe it to Lee with a couple of big saves. And we go forward, and I think Rotherham next in the league, I think they'll have to come out a bit more and try and make it a bit more of a game.
We talked about how nice it is to see the fans coming back and getting a smile on the face again after, again, a difficult couple of seasons. You enjoying it, Tom?
Yeah, I think the atmosphere has been really good. Really good feeling about the club. The club's done a lot at the training ground that probably people don't see to make it a good place for us to spend time. I think it's a good place for people to come on a match day now. It's had a lot of investment. And yeah, nobody wants to get relegated, but if you have been, you've got to make the best out of it. And I think that's what the club's trying to do, and fair play to the owner and what have you. They've not skimped on anything, and they've really invested. And yeah, it's good to see big crowds for this league. Yeah, and we need that, and we understand it's going to be frustrating at times, but yeah, there's a long way to go. Yeah.
Tom, well done today. Thanks for joining us.